Thanks tonight day.
Don't fight it. It's time to go up a size. This is the biggest.
This is the biggest.
Our biggest show. The Hodaki Big Show. With Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Oh, g'day, you mad bastards. Great to have your company this Wednesday afternoon. It's the 15th of November 2023, and you're listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Night Day and Mogey, your rogue stallion. I know I say it day after day after day after day, but I tell you what, day after day after day after day, you just look magnificent, mate.
Good on you, mate. You're a backbone, Jase. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that, man.
Thanks,
but
mate.
You are a magnificent son of a bee yourself, and I like that shirt you've got there. It's got a few little dots on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, little white polka dots there.
Little buttons open down there just to give me a little bit of a
hoity-J cleavage, Mogey.
bit of suggestion there about what lies beneath, brother.
Yes.
Nice to see you, brother.
I mean, having said how good you're looking at the moment, I did have that situation with you yesterday trying to remove your skin tag, and that made me throw up in my mouth a little bit, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just on that, by the way, we're going to potentially be releasing a video on our Instagram account later on. Pugs, you mad bastard, how's life?
Yeah, good, thank you. Happy to be here with you guys, as
Stop
always.
brown-nosing and greasing us.
Oh, it's
That is so
beautiful
It
outside,
reeks of
and
sarcasm,
Yeah.
we're
mate.
sharing this
You're
time
not fooling
together.
anybody.
And
I find that
lovely.
ironic because you were saying off air just before you couldn't be asked with the show.
Oh,
You
did
were just
I?
like, I just want to go home and chill out in the sun, eh, Mogey? That's
Yeah,
what he
that's
was
exactly
saying.
what he was saying.
Have a few beersies. I mean, who wants to work on a day like this, said Pugs. And we were like, Pugs, the people out there need us.
The Hodaki Big Show podcast.
Now, I want to remind all the listeners out there of a new feature that we have in our show, the Talkback feature. If you have the iHeartRadio app, there's a little microphone there, and you can send direct messages, Mogey, to the studio, which we can then play over the air.
You up?
Pardon?
You up? See?
Yeah, so good.
So I've just listened to Tuesday's Big Show, and can I just say that I am outraged? Like, I should send this into the Radio Communications Ombudsman. How, in the grace of all good things, can Jason Hoy put tomato ketchup on eggs? Look, I don't know. I think that's close to the two wiper situation. That is an absolute outrage. Disgusting!
Interesting, eh? I mean, that was the topic we had yesterday. Well, it wasn't even a topic. I just mentioned that I like tomato sauce on my poached eggs and caused quite a bit of outrage. And
Furor.
I would have thought as a European, because the Europeans, they love their... I mean, who's he to tell me about what I can and can't
He's
do?
not European, he's Scottish.
Well, yeah, and your chips with your eggs, they have all sorts of crap, mushy peas,
Yeah.
all that sort of jazz. Who's he
Heroin.
to have a go? Heroin,
haggis.
smack, haggis. But anyway, right now it's time for the big poll.
The Big Poll.
Yeah, well, obviously a massive night tonight, fellas. The Cricket World Cup semi-final, New Zealand versus the Black Caps. The big poll today, New Zealand victory, yes or no? Your thoughts, Mogey?
I think we've got every bit as much chance as India. Excuse me, everybody. Just got a bit of rice caught in my old throat there.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I would say that if we were on a level playing field, obviously India's got the home field advantage. They're hosting the tournament. They've also gone through undefeated, so they're in pretty good shape form-wise. Although it's just emerged. And I'll read this from a news item here. First, there were suggestions India asked for a slow pitch to be prepared. Now it's been reported Indian officials have switched the pitch for their Crunch World Cup semi-final against New Zealand in Mumbai without the ICC's permission. Now, the ICC have to oversee every pitch that is used in every single game of the World Cup.
Yes.
Indian Cricket and BCCI have decided, nah, we'll chuck one in that suits our spinners, commonly known as cheating. So, I hope something's done about this. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it is.
What's going on?
It is very
That's
outrageous.
breaking the laws of the game. Beat it. They should be. They should be disqualified.
Yeah, we talked about this on the BYC podcast today. Actually, it is an outrage, and the reality is, India are under massive pressure to win this match. As you say, undefeated in the round robin, but they didn't. They could afford to lose games there. This is a one-off occasion.
It is.
New Zealand gets off to a good start. Say we're fielding first, a brilliant run out, a couple of perler catches, and I'm just interested to see the collective Indian arse clamp up.
Yeah.
And those little cracks begin to appear, because we've done it to them before in the last semi-final of the World Cup.
But they didn't get to choose the pitch in that game.
Yeah, that's true. And that is an absolute bastard. And if that is actually proven to be completely accurate, something should be done about it.
100%. Well, they can't play. You cannot play the game.
Yes.
If they have broken the laws of the ICC. Now, of course, the ICC, I imagine, will do nothing. But I've never heard of that. That is appalling. You cannot put in a pitch that is going to suit your spinners, which is notoriously what the Indians are best at in the field. You can't do it.
Yeah. But
travesty.
But you see, that just makes the mountain that much harder for us to climb, Mogey. And the boys got to go out there and have a good old time. Let the Indians feel all that pressure. Because you'll remember when they lost that semi-final in the last World Cup, a lot of them didn't go home because they had death threats. And so they'll be, very conscious of that fact, that if they lose, it's going to be absolute carnage. But we want your opinion. So send us a talkback message, a text on 3483, or if you're really fired up about it, give us a call on 0800 Hodaki. And don't forget, everyone that does that goes in the draw to win a $50 night day voucher.
And of course, vote on the Hodaki Big Show on the old Instagram there. What's your prediction there, Jase?
What was it? All Black Caps victory, yes or no?
I'm going to go 70-30, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But because I think people... That's what I'm thinking the public will say.
I'm saying 60-40 years.
Oh.
The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
A few texts there, fellas, on 3483 about tonight's semi-final.
BCCI doing BCCI things. It won't matter. Steady the ship will see us right, and Ravi will make sure there's no issues with boundary countback. Also, we're the only team currently who haven't lost an ODI World Cup since 2015.
Oh, we actually lost in 2019, didn't we? Do you remember that one, Jase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an absolute...
I see what they're saying. They're saying we drew it, but we lost it.
Yeah.
Backbone.
Massive backbone.
Another one here from Mark in Christchurch.
Mark.
Old mate Mark. Is it too late to send Chris Harris over for that slow wicket? Few caught and few bowled, and good night Nurse India.
Bald as a badger, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But he'd actually be good at the Indian wickets, I reckon, because he was a real dibbly-dobbler.
He was.
I umpired him quite a lot, Chris Harris.
Oh, yeah?
Wouldn't shut up on the field, I'll tell you that much.
He's a hell of a player. I loved him.
Yeah.
Good with a bat.
Yeah.
I liked to just wear his cap there, wouldn't he? Be slogging away. He's a hell of a bowler. Loved to caught him bowled.
He did 50 durries before he went out to bat.
He's gorgeous
he was
as well.
He was
Massive
into it.
forehead on him.
He did have a really big forehead, actually.
One here for you, Mogey. No wonder India have won all their pool games when they cheat like this.
Am I right?
Yeah. Outrageous.
We've also got a talkback here on the talkback function from iHeartRadio. You want to hear that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, g'day, you massive absolute backbones. I have a major issue here. I can't believe you've let old no-look Hoity J off the hook. That is a crime against humanity. He's walking around, Kate Don there. Not all good, brother. Can't let him get away with that one.
Yeah, so that's that goes back to a chat we were having, I think it was last week, where we discovered that Jase, when it does two-stroke, old Hoity J two-stroke, where he has two wipes when he's doing his backside there and doesn't have a look at it and then just goes about his day, regardless of whether he needs 8 wipes or more or whatever. So, yeah, it's a good point. I don't know how we've let it go.
Look, I've got to be really honest with you. It's led to some issues for me in the toilet now.
I bet.
I sit there before I do my 3 perfect tubes, and now I'm questioning myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll make my point, and I'll make it very firmly and strongly again. It's not 2-stroke, Hoodie J. It's 3-stroke for a start.
Well, can I just say you've completely changed the story?
No,
Thank
it's
you.
2 or 3 strokes generally.
2 or 3.
See,
Thank
is
you.
it 2 or
so
3?
Your
It's
original
3.
story was when I go 2, but sometimes I might feel like I need 3, so I'll do 3. Can we go back to the tape, actually, and we'll replay that tomorrow, actually,
Yeah,
Pugs,
yeah, sure,
because
sure.
He's trying to garnish the lily a little bit.
I just want to make the point as well.
Oh, here
Here we go.
Yeah.
Another twist, another
if
lie.
you are taking 8 wipes, then something's badly wrong.
And things do go wrong back there, Jase.
Not for me, they don't.
Well, you wouldn't know because you never look,
Well,
brother. You don't know.
can I
you
say-
I
don't
want
know.
to make a point right now.
How many points are you going to
I
make?
don't have skitties, so therefore
You've got dags.
I don't have dags,
Jase.
nor do I have skitties. My underwear is pristine and in good condition.
There's not one person on the face of the earth who does it the way you do it. I don't
Yeah.
know where you learned that. I don't know if you were raised by wolves or what's going
I was
on.
raised by a horse, remember? Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order. Point of order. I think you'll recall from our survey on this, 'cause I didn't want to go back here, but we have to. 15% of people on the island.
15's generous.
On the island with Hoity J.
I would like to reiterate my point that I think it was closer to 90, but let's say 85%. I think 85% thought you were weird, and the other 15% didn't understand the question.
Yeah.
The Hodaki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Speaking of medical issues, not that my wiping is a medical issue.
Can I say I think that's a psychological issue?
In the sense that I have a very sound mind. Now, listen, I got some bad news today, fellas, which I need to share with you.
An infection of some sort, probably.
No. Though I have been feeling a bit woozy of late, to be honest, Mogey. I think I had COVID, but then I just backboned it. Just got on with it. Anyway, I went to the doctor today. As you know, I've been suffering from shaggers back.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, of course, I don't mind admitting that, there was a lot of shagging pugs.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So as a consequence, I've got massive spinal injuries going on and spinal issues. Predominantly, the issue is I've got no spinal jelly between my vertebrae. So what is happening is that my vertebrae are just crunching against each other.
Can I just point out, and this is a minor detail, that the plural of vertebrae is vertebrae, not vertebraes.
Well, that's what my doctor called. He says your vertebrae are poked, Jase. Your vertebrae are
poked.
poked.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I don't want to sort of make this public knowledge. I just sort of take it on the chin. But I've been going in every second day to get spinal jelly infusions.
Nice.
And but the pain hasn't stopped in any way. So people won't know this when I'm doing the radio show. I'm in a lot of pain, Mogey. I don't tell people that, but I'm in a lot of pain. But anyway, I had a good chat to the doctor today, and he said, look, this just isn't working. We can pour bucket loads of spinal jelly in there. It's not going to make a world of difference because your vertebrae is so porous and so in such bad shape. And he said, so I've been investigating what we can do to sort of address the issue, and the only thing he's come back with is a transplant.
Oh.
Yeah, because you can do those now. I don't know if you guys knew this. You can do a full spinal transplant.
Backbone transplant.
A backbone, exactly, mate.
Right.
Quite ironic, really, isn't it? That, backbone is such a big part of our show.
Yeah.
And my backbone is completely poked.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, they do it with baboons.
Oh.
So it's not a man-made spinal column. It's actually transplanted from a baboon.
You'd get something more along the size of a spider monkey, though, wouldn't you? Or
Well, he did actually
possum?
A lemur.
He actually did mention, just quietly between the three of us, because of my diminutive sort of stature, he said we might be looking at a different monkey for you,
Yes.
But they can do it directly, and so they have whatever monkey is on that they select that suits your spinal column, whether it be your baboon / spider monkey, whatever it is,
possum or...
and then it just lies next to you on the table, and they just do a direct transplant. Pretty
so
intimidating.
Does the spider monkey get your spine? Or does it just end up being sort of a sack of blood and organs?
Pretty much, yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, and I don't feel good about that. I care about my animals, you know, and I don't like the idea of some spider monkey sacrificing its spinal column for me.
Well, but if it's down to, if it's between you and him.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, too, I mean, I'm in a situation where do I let down legions of fans?
Sure.
Because I can't operate anymore, or is it worth the life of a spider monkey to get me tickety-boo?
Yeah.
So I'll let you know. I've got to think it through. You know, there's all the sort of anti-rejection drugs and all that sort of stuff I've got to take, which apparently affects the bullous and my hair. So, yeah. It
is a serious thing though, because a lot of times when people are going through their shagging days,
yes,
they don't sort of realise the damage that they're doing, and it's not unlike your rugby union players, your rugby league players, your American football players who are having these concussion issues that sort of come back to haunt them. Sort of 10, 15 years later, and that's all as a result of the things that they've done early on, right, on the field. Although this is what you've done in the sack.
Yeah.
This is the work that you've put in the back seat.
Well, I don't know if you've sort of noticed this, but just above my hips there, Mogey, it's like a little hunchback where the discs are bulging out.
What I've noticed about you, though, and this is how, and you won't know this, Pugs, but Jase has done, he was such a shagger back in the day that it's actually affected his everyday posture. So you'll notice when he walks around here, he's constantly thrusting at the air.
Yeah.
You know
That's a sign of a mad rooter.
The Hodaki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Now, with regards to my monkey transplant for my spinal column, someone sent in a text there on 3483 Pugs.
Yeah, we got a couple actually. One says, have the monkeys been in car crashes and so therefore are they donating the spines?
No.
Most of them that you find when they're donating, they've generally been the victims in a grinding accident, right? An organ grinding incident. So you'll get the monkey that goes around collecting coins from people, and you get the organ grinder who's grinding the organ there, and then oftentimes people object to having monkeys begging for cash.
Yes.
They'll get a sort of a
dated
roundhouse kick to the side of the skull for a monkey, and she's all over, and you got to rush them off to the hospital, and next thing you know, they've been put to good use on old Hoodie Joe's backbone.
Well, as I say, I haven't made that decision yet. I don't know if I want a spider monkey spine.
Somebody also
Spider-Man, they'll start calling you.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Somebody also asked, does Terry, your wife's personal trainer, does he have shaggers back?
No, he's got a magnificent back.
He's working on it.
Yeah, because the reality is with Terry, he works out all the time, so he's got all that muscle strength around his bone structure.
Right.
So he occasionally pulls a hammy.
Yeah.
Or a buttock.
Or a groin.
Oh, sometimes the groin. Yeah. Actually, this happens quite a lot with him. I'm not sure what's going on there. Must be an area of weakness for him. Hey, now listen, we've been talking cricket. We've got the big semi-final coming up today, but don't forget, of course, 20th of January next year, the Black Clash. Cricket versus rugby. Brian Lara is going to be there. Also, Jonathan Thurston.
Yeah, he's a Buckby League player of some repute.
It's the wild card for team cricket.
And even more exciting than that is going to be Mogey in the Hot Springs Spa. With Keezy totally nude.
And we're going to have a game of paper, scissors, rock to see who does a nude streak. And I will say that this year at the Black Clash, when we're in that pool with Matt Heath, the security guards were absolutely fizzing at the prospect of being able to smash someone, being able to smash a streaker. So I'm looking forward to that because I don't think Keezy will be too quick off the mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he'll be he'll probably trip over getting out of the spa. And then
douche get absolutely coat-hanged. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm hoping that you're the one that does it.
Sure.
Because I think that would be a much bigger crowd pleaser.
Can I say that if I do it, I'm going to do it when the team of rugby players is not in the field?
Sure.
I think the less rugby players that I have to make my way around, the better.
Yeah. Well, if it is you, I can assure you I'll be giving a full commentary of it. Now, what do people need to do to get involved with that there, Pugalicious?
If you want to see whoever's doing the streaking do it live, we're giving you the chance to win flights from anywhere in the country to Tauranga for the event, where you'll be joining us in the Hot Spring Spa for that first innings. Plus, there's also a night at Trinity Wharf in Tauranga, and you can enter at hodaki.co.nz.
Good deal, man. Good deal.
Not bad.
It's a bloody good afternoon / evening, so get involved.
It's a magnificent summery occasion, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a real festival occasion, I would say.
And I know that you're going to be turning up massively tanned as well.
I will be.
Yeah,
you're right.
Because you like to get a burn on over the summer,
I like to get a bit of brown on me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, boy.
The Hodaki Big Show podcast. Catch them weekdays from 4 on Radio Hodaki.
Backbone.
Hey, had some issues, and you guys know I've got a couple of electric trucks, and I like them, man. I like them.
Yeah,
I've got
they're meaty.
A Toyota Aqua truck, and I went and got a haircut today. Not everything's amazing about them. I went and got a haircut today, and I went off there and parked up. A few minutes walk away to the barber shop. Got to the barber's a bit early, read a magazine there, and just had a look around.
Woman's Day?
Nah, it was, what was it? It was a Ralph mag from 2002. They had a couple of FHMs. That's for magazine. And that was pretty good. And then got my hair cut, jibber jabber. So it's probably gone from the vehicle for about half an hour or so. Got back to the car, and it was still running. So I'd left it parked, and it was still on the entire time that I was gone, because they're completely silent. So I just sort of, pull in, grab my wallet, grab my whatevers, and then sort of forget that the car's even on. I just jump out and go about my day, and then I come back and it's still on. My car beeps. Well, so if I turn the car off and I open my door,
yes,
the car beeps.
Right.
I don't know why it's beeping, because the car's off.
Mine does that if I leave the keys in the ignition.
Same.
Well, this doesn't have it. This is one of these push-button flash bastards, it is.
Hey,
as I say, it's an Aqua truck, so it's pretty flash.
Yeah.
And it beeps when it does that, but it doesn't beep if I open the door when the car's running, which would be good, because then I wouldn't leave it on for half an hour at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, totally.
And another thing I have an issue with electric cars is, as a pedestrian, when you don't hear them coming and you tend to walk out into the traffic and get run over.
Yes.
I don't know why when they used to have cars on movies and things back in the day, they would have electric cars in them, or cars that were silent, but they'd make a whirring sort of a noise, so you could still hear them. To me, it makes sense. You need to hear them.
Yeah.
But I've killed 3 people this week.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's so funny.
Well, allegedly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, show me the proof, quite frankly. It's funny because I've nearly been run over many times, not by electric cars or just cars in general, because I when I'm doing my run with my skull candies on.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? And I'm doing 18, 20 odd K in the morning there, and I don't hear a bloody thing.
No.
And I'm blind. So, deaf and blind going for an 18, 20K run.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stand a chance against an electric car.
No, you wouldn't. Especially not an Aqua truck.
No, wow.
You'd be squashed like an ant.
That would flatten my ass.
Yeah.
Incidentally, can I ask, out of curiosity, how long does it take to charge said electric car?
They're self-charging.
Oh,
They're a hybrid.
right.
Yeah,
okay.
They're not a plug-in.
Yeah.
Not a plug-in one. But anyway, that was just something I thought. So I wondered if other people have had a similar issue. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? I mean, it's not running out of gas, is it? Because it's just electric.
Yes.
So that's good. But yeah, it's just something that I'd noticed. And the thing about it is, man, nobody's talking about it. And what we do on this show is we shine a torch on those sort of topics that people are too scared to talk about
on the real issue.
You won't hear this talked about by Hosking, that coward.
Yeah, no.
But we talk about it here. We talk about it here on the Hodaki Big Show.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Kia kaha, bro. Hey, just on that, if someone does have a fully electric car, can they text us on 3483 and let me, or talk back?
Yeah.
Or call, let me know how long it takes to charge the bastard. Be keen to know that. Seriously, I would.
Indeed.
because I'm thinking of getting, after my Tita debacle, I think I might go full electric. I'd like to see the bastard steal that.
The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
Pet Chat. With Jason Mike. It's been a while, Mogey.
Yeah, man.
It's been a wee while, and a couple of people have, texted in and said, what's happened to Pet Chat? Because, as you know, New Zealanders love their pets, and the advice we give helps thousands of people out there, and it's free of charge.
Well, especially coming into Christmas, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people receive and give animals as pets, as gifts.
Sure.
And then what sort of happens is people will tire of them.
Yeah.
There was an epidemic of it, wasn't there, when people were receiving crocodiles as gifts, and then they get a bit big and they flush them down the toilets.
Yes.
Then, of course, that started happening in New Zealand with, pet lambs and things like that, and people sort of, pushing them down the toilet there, and because as they started turned into sheep and that, they're a bit big. So you don't want to do that. So if you need any advice around which animals to gift around Christmas time, then give us a shout. We can advise on that.
Yeah, no, you make a good point. There, Mogey.
We've had a bunch of messages come through on the Instagram at
I'm not
Hodaki Big
surprised
Show.
by that, Pugs.
No.
Yeah, what are you saying?
No. Not a surprise at all. I'm excited.
Yeah, good.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
is that all right?
Degrees or something.
Yeah.
Our first question here from Jimmy. My poor parrot.
Jimmy who? Jimi Hendrix?
Jimmy King.
I was going to say.
Jimmy King.
Yeah.
Jimi
Good
Hendrix,
bastard.
he's been dead for a while.
So Jimmy's got a parrot,
Has he?
and it's lost his voice. He's asking what the best gargle is, the best sort of remedy there to help poor Hoity the parrot regain use of its beak.
You do a lot of voice work, Jase.
I don't really understand the question. Regain use of its beak. It's not the beak that's the problem. It's the vocal cords.
Yeah.
Yes, I do a lot of voiceovers there, Mogey.
Do.
Fisherman's Friends.
Oh, yes?
Yeah. Or what you can do is I'll scull a little shot glass of like your Tabasco sauce.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Parrots love that.
It doesn't actually cure the problem, but it burns so bad that you don't notice the pain of the
other thing that's going on.
A little bit of tiger balm around the eyelids is good as well.
Yeah, totally. And if that's not working, what you need to do, because you don't want to get distressed, you don't want them distressed, just put a wet blanket over the cage.
Yeah,
there.
cover the cage up and they'll sleep for years.
Yeah, totally, man.
Another message here on the Instagram. Now that it's the bird of the century, how do I get the poo teke teke as a pet, and how do I take care of it? That's from Brammy.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what a poo tiki tiki is.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it's a mythical creature.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
It's sort of along the lines of a moa.
Okay, yes.
Or a dodo.
Sure. So we're talking big.
Yeah. I don't. No, it's not big, but it's like a dragon.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
You can't get them.
Oh, you can't?
I mean,
well, people voted for it in the
you can
bird
vote.
of the century.
You can vote for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John Oliver was a big fan.
Sure, but
Yeah.
have you ever seen one before, Pugs?
Not in person. No.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
We got one more here on the Instagram.
Great stuff, mate.
My cat's always stealing my angle grinder and cutting cutting steel at 1 a.m. What should I do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times we've gone into this cat discussion. They're selfish little bastards.
They are. They've never
it's-
got work the next day, so it doesn't cross their mind. It's not
Yes.
that they know about work the next day and they're choosing to ignore it.
Yes.
It's that they've got no concept of work because everything's free to them.
Exactly. So they'll just use whatever they want with no qualms at all. They go and sit in the sun the following morning licking their bullets.
The other thing is with that is it's quite easy to outsmart them. I mean, you think, God, I've got a smart one here. It's using the angle grinder.
Yeah.
But if you just unplug the angle grinder, they can't put it in.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't have thumbs.
Right.
Per se.
Yeah, allegedly.
Per se.
I actually relate to this because one of my cats did that with the old angle grinder. It was a Persian.
Yes.
And then the spark one day. Talk about bloody justice. Spark caught its fur and just woof.
Yeah.
And it went from a Persian to, what do you call those sort of...
A man cat.
Yeah. You know those sort of sphinx-like looking ones?
No, the ones.
You know, they've got
Fearless.
no... Fearless.
Yeah.
Who buys those?
Sickos.
They look like if you were trying to imagine what my testicles look like.
And I am.
The skin on my testicles, just look at the skin on those skinless cats.
I would imagine Mogey's ones, since he gets them.
Have you noticed that old Pugs is always using his imagination to focus on my downstairs, man? Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Not cool, Pugs.
Not only
not cool, man.
Are you a
Sorry,
greaser,
man.
but you're a bit pervy,
Nah, I
Pugs.
apologise. I got carried away. It's just the excitement.
Sure, mate.
The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
The Big Pole. Speaking of big poles, by the way, I'm thinking of getting one put in my room, in my bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've heard, rightly or wrongly, I don't know, that, those stripping poles are really good exercise.
Yeah, they are.
Really?
Good for your core.
Yeah, good for your core sort of stuff.
There's a lot of hanging from your legs, and I don't know if your withered excuses will do the job,
Yeah,
but it
that's
might be a good
true.
way to build up a bit of strength in them.
Yeah, and I just think it might be quite nice for my wife if I do a bit of a,
Oh,
bit of
yeah.
a routine there for her. When
Is that how that's pronounced?
what's pronounced?
Routine. You're putting the stress.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
wrong
no,
place.
sorry, yeah. But anyway, let's get into the big poll. Where you go?
I already did it
Oh,
again.
did you
Do
do
you
it
want
again?
it again?
Do it again, man.
Sorry,
Alright,
I was just
cool.
filling my head with images of me on a stripper's pole.
All right, here we go.
The big pole.
Ba, 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 ba.
The big poll today, and it had to be Black Caps versus India. Black Caps victory, yes or no?
Yeah.
For the semi-final tonight, starting at 9:30. By the way, also the ACC, I believe, are going to be doing a watch-along.
An
with that.
all-nighter.
An all-nighter.
I went for 70% in favour of.
Yes.
I've got high hopes for this game, man. I really do. I think that we have a history of a tenacity.
Yes.
And the New Zealanders, a credit to them, they find a way to win. And they've got this ability to bring, and I don't want this to sound bad, but to bring a team to their level in the sense that they'll score low, and it might be on a pitch that traditionally gets a high score on it, but then they will put the screws on, and for some reason it's impossible for the opposition to score runs.
Yes.
They do it time and time again, and I don't know what it is, but just great bowling, great field placement, and all that sort of stuff.
Well,
I guess
generally
is-
speaking, we are known to be a good fielding side.
Yes.
So here's an interesting stat for you on that, Mogey,
Yeah.
on the fielding front. 40 catches, 16 dropped.
Right, that's terrible.
We're second to last in that
Wow.
regard, which is not like us at all.
I think
So
Pakistan was sitting at number one there. I think they were going quite good.
Yeah.
But I was watching a replay of the last time we played India, which was in the semi-final at the last World Cup, and there was a hell of a catch at point.
yes,
One-handed down low, can't remember who it was. There was the Guptill run out.
yes.
There were some really key moments that went our way. Of course, we had them about 7 down for not much, but from memory it was it Jadeja?
Yes.
Who then went on a slog fest, but we managed to get him out with about 30 or 40 to go and then got the others out cheaply. But she was a tight game, played over 2 games. You don't see that often.
Yeah, no, it was a doozy, mate. But, it's all on the Indians, all the pressure, Pugs.
All
Yeah.
the pressure
All
Pugs.
the pressure. How are you feeling about it, man? I know you're going to stay up all night.
I'm feeling really excited. Now, you were 70-30
Yes.
and you were 60-40, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that was me that was 70-30 and
Yes,
Jase
sorry,
was
sorry.
60-40.
Mike
Yeah,
Minogue, 70-30. Now, New Zealand tends to have a little more belief in the
Oh,
Black
great.
Caps than you fellas. They've got yes, 83% for a Black
Wow.
Caps
That's
victory.
great.
17% no.
That's
Interesting.
good. That's good. I'm pleased that people are feeling positive about it.
Totally, man.
It is a shame that it's on at this time of night.
Yes.
It is a bit of a Bit of a shame.
Back in the day, I would have loved it at this time of night. But,
Sure.
I'm not a young man anymore,
No.
Mogey. She's hard staying up all night.
Yeah.
Especially when you're hitting the beers.
The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
What's on the telly with Mike Minogue?
That was really good.
That sounded like a plane crash.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That sounded like a plane going.
Last night I watched the last episode of the Robbie Williams documentary. It's
Yes.
good, man. It's good. He sort of sorted himself out in the end, but he's still pretty miserable about it.
Do you think the reality is some people are just like that in
I
their
don't
lives.
know that he is, because you often say he's a very funny man.
Yes.
He's very funny.
But
He's
you
a
know what
raconteur, he's a crack up, good, but, and I guess you could get a little bit melancholy looking back on it all, but also as a director of the documentary, you say, all right, let's see, come on, man,
lighten up a
spark it
bit,
up.
yeah.
Can we see a different shade of you instead of just grey all the way, grey, black, grey?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Nice family stuff at the end there, and I do want to know where he gets his T-shirts, though. I do want to know where he gets his T-shirts.
Actually, that's a good point. I need to find a place that sells good T-shirts.
Well, what's going on at the moment, Jase? We're in the middle of this fashion thing I've noticed where everybody's wearing plain T-shirts, and I'm over it.
Yes.
I've done a long time on plain T-shirts because everyone else is wearing printed. So I want to go back to printed, but I can't find any.
Yeah. I just want to... I have this issue with T-shirts, just to sort of sideline ourselves from a chat, where my man breasts...
Yeah.
I struggle to find a good T-shirt for my man breasts.
Well, I get sensational nipple action
Yeah,
no matter
yeah.
what.
Yes.
What I find with printed T-shirts is that quite often they'll cover your bussies.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
Because I've got quite a wide chest. It's bloody tight as now if any of you guys want to feel it.
Sure.
But I've never been able to find good T-shirts. I don't know where you look for good T-shirts.
Right.
I used to have a mate of my wife's, actually.
My wife.
Used to run a T-shirt shop in Ponsonby there.
Lucky bastard.
And they were pretty cool T-shirts.
Sure.
I never bought one.
Nah.
But that's the only
They're
time.
still going?
No.
Nah.
So I don't know where to get good T-shirts from. So text us 3483 if you have an answer to that.
Yes, please.
I watched Sperms of Endearment.
Who's in that?
I wasn't really paying attention to who was in it. I
Right.
was just, that was more the cinematography that I was focused on.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's kind of a romantic shag fest.
Oh, hot.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah. You and your partner would like it, Pugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sperms of Endearment.
Sperms of endearment.
Write that
Right,
down.
okay. Yeah, I can write that down.
Just put that in your notes. What did you watch? If you say Love Island, I'm going to deduce you.
First of all, it's not Love Island, it's Love Island Games. Second of all, I watched Band of Brothers. Episode 4.
Never watched that, actually.
Nice.
Great.
I've heard it's quite good.
Every episode's like a movie. Like, it's just excellently done.
Great.
Great stuff, mate.
The Hodaki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keezy.
Yeah, babe.
Mogey.
Yeah, babe.
Just 2 more sleeps to the Super Liquor Cheers Giving, mate.
Oh,
on the
mean.
Friday Throbber.
Yeah. Can you explain that to me again, Jase?
Oh, look, I would, but I think Pugs is better at it.
Hell yeah.
And I said to him before the show, because he said he wanted to get better with liners.
Sure.
And I said I'd give him more of an opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
So wait, fill your boots there, Pugs.
Sorry? Thanks so much for the opportunity, Jace. I'm really excited.
I'll be taking notes, Pugs.
Of this liner?
Yes.
Okay. So every day... Every Friday we do the Friday Throbber. There's note
God.
number 1. Every
That's
Friday
not
we do
going
the
well.
Friday Throbber, and we're giving you the opportunity, thanks to our mates at Super Liquor, to dedicate your vote on the Throbber to a mate and score them $200. So all you do, call up and vote for the Throbber like you always do every Friday. And in there, have a think about who you might want to dedicate your Throbber vote to. And then we'll pick one person with, I think we went off vibes last time, to score $200 for their mate. How was
Nailed
that,
it,
Jase?
man.
Yeah,
Really.
Was that pretty good?
That was actually really good, man.
Let me do raise a glass to local legends. Cheers to Super Liquor. That's got to be in there too.
Yeah.
guys.
Super Liquor.
A bit of a shaky start there, but you pulled it together very nicely.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
So, no, seriously, make sure you tune in to the Friday Throbber, be a part of that, and win $200 for your mate. Good times.
The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
Well, there you go, you mad bastards. That's your Wednesday show done and dusted. We've got over the little hump of hump day. Mogey, I'm picking a quiet one for you tonight, mate. Enjoying your daughter's company, watching a bit of telly and early to bed.
Yeah, I think so, man, except for I'll be watching the cricket, obviously.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Yeah.
But other than that, I'll be early to bed.
Yeah. Maybe
First, I'll stay up. I don't know. I had a shocker of a sleep last night, so we'll see how I go. Definitely. If we're batting, I'm not going to watch it.
Sure.
Because it takes too long to establish whether you've got an upper hand or where you sit in it, and I hate watching us get out. I'm not saying that we would, but I would not be happy. But if we're bowling and I get to watch some wickets, I like that.
Early wickets.
I like that.
We need early wickets,
mate.
Mogey.
Yes.
Pugs, what are you up to, mate?
It's my lady's birthday dinner tonight with her family.
Yes, that's
so
right.
We'll be hanging out, having a good time, getting some good food, and
good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Well, like Mogey, I'll be watching the cricket, obviously.
Yeah.
That temporarily went out of my head, but I'll be into that. Probably watch the first 2-3 hours. Then I'll do what I normally do, get up in the morning and watch the rest of it in the morning. Hey, listen, it's been a pleasure having your company this Wednesday. Make sure you check out our podcast. Also, check out our Instagram account because there's some great video coming out of me performing surgery on Mogey. Until tomorrow, see you later.